So you need to listen today, because this message is very important. It's extremely important. Matter of fact, it's critically important. You hear what I said? If you got somebody laying on a bed in the hospital in critical condition, what's that, Brother Fred? Oh, man.
Way out.
Right?
It could be.
Right? You on your way out? If y'all don't show up. So, the title of our message is Critical Understanding, all right, of coming out of her. Let me ask this, because I know the answer to this, because we're people, and it's hard for people to change. But I'm not talking to flesh right now. You understand?
Yes, sir.
See, you have committed things in your body that you have to give account for. That's in 2 Corinthians chapter 5. Everybody has to give account for what you have done inside the flesh. So that means that your soul, your spirit man, was supposed to be guided while you walked on this earth in the ways of righteousness. But you didn't always do that, did you?
No, sir.
But watch this. I want to hear it. When I ask this question, I want you to say, I do, if that's what you want to do. All right? Or say, I don't. Who in here desires salvation?
I do.
All right, so I think that was everybody. I don't think it was nobody here like, well, not me. Because you're in the wrong place. Right? So, but everybody said that. So now this is where you got to make the transition from the physical man that's sitting here on or in the chair. I was going to say on the pews, you know, boy. Had me watch. I'm scared. I'm coming out too. I'm scared coming out. I was going to say sitting there on the pews. It's just automatic. Hear that, mother?
In the church house.
You sitting on the chairs, and what I'm desiring from y'all right now, I want to know who is really with me in the spirit right now that understands that there's a desperation that has to go on. Because see, people say they want salvation, but Yah loves right action. He loved right action. Here, Brother Josh?
Yes, sir.
See, people that say they desire salvation, it don't match up with what you're producing as a person. If you're supposed to be light, see the good. This is the thing. It's just like Matt. Every time Matt see me, you remember me, you know me, but you see me. I'm in this mode over here. I'm ministering to these people. You know, some of my other folks that's like, man, I don't know what he's doing, but then there's other people that know me. I'm on drugs. But see, what you got to understand in the question I asked you before we go to the next screen, what you got to understand is that have you really looked at this road to understand where it's going, to know that I can't be lukewarm because persecution is going to pick up. You understand?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
It's going to pick up. See, it's better to be persecuted and have righteous works stored up with the Most High instead of having wicked works, because now all your work was what? In vain. Y'all hear this?
Yes, sir.
Don't run a race in vain. See, that's what my striving is. That's why when I look, something come up, Brother Fred, I know I can go to y'all. I can go to y'all like this. Hey, it's me. Not that my righteousness is anything. My righteousness is as filthy rags. but you my Father, and you said, ask in Jesus' name. And whatever you ask, I will do as long as you what? Believe. Right? See, they ain't had nothing to do with righteousness in there. It's just his word. And you believing. And you ain't going to really believe if you got a lot of wicked works stored up in you. Because now you come before the throne with doubt, condemnation. Right? You're in a bad position because now you can't receive. Y'all hear me? You're not in a position to receive. Y'all gonna know what that means in a minute, because it's gonna keep getting worse. It's gonna double and triple here. Just watch how the years, these next few years go. It's just, because they setting it up, and it's so many people that's coming into the knowledge of the truth. The knowledge of the truth about everything. That's what this message is about. See, what I'm getting ready to show you today, I'm going to show you how much bondage you are in. Because I'm sitting behind the scenes. See, my wife know I'm sitting up in very important meetings. That won't dare tell you. I just need to see fruit. See, that's the difference between me and you. You just, people make you just tell everything. I ain't telling you nothing.
Right.
I'm following the footsteps of the Father.
That's right.
According to measure.
That's right.
Your measure small, then guess what? You get. Your measure big, then guess what? That's what it's going to be. All right? So let's go to the next screen so we can get ready to move forward. All right. Shabbat Shalom from Straightway Israelites. All right? Let's go. All right, look at this. Keith, I was getting ready to kick this penny. I forgot what it was there for. So I can stay back here. I'm like, right. The vision John had on the Isle of Patmos is the entire product of the book of Hazum. What book is that? Revelation. All right. Now, let's think, because we get ready to move. We get ready to move through something. I'm excited. So think about what I'm saying. Look, is this just a statement? Just walk up to say somebody in Walmart the line, hey, you know the vision John had from the Isle of Patmos? I'm like, right? But if I said it, I said it for a reason, right? What's one of the reasons why you think I may have said that, Mother Melissa? Brother Moore? Brother Free?
I'm not sure exactly.
Okay, let me do this, because I'm just giving nuggets. Okay? What John received. Well, let me ask this first. Who have read Hazum? Raise your hand. So it's about partying and right? Is it? Okay, the second question, do you believe that vision is real and accurate?
Yes, sir.
And terrifying. So you understand where we going? See, this what John had, he had to make it known. Because the time was going to come where his people was going to be lost in darkness. Yes. And once you begin to find your way, then there was going to be an opportunity for you to choose ye that day who you was going to serve. Because remember I said that there's a portion. Y'all didn't want to scatter you among the nations. But he did. So Hazum prophesies a lot about the nation. And about what's to come. And what's going to be on their heads. What their portion is. Do you want what's in their portion? Do you? You say you don't. but your actions, remember? So keep that in mind. All right, let's go. All right. What is the sole purpose of the book of Hazum? To warn, to reveal, to enlighten. Right? That makes sense? All right. Now, specifically, listen to this. Specifically after we read Revelation 18:4. All right? So I see it after, right? Yes, sir. This is what I want to know. Why are people not able to see the depth of the warning? So we said, we know warnings are in Hazum, right? Yes, sir. So my question, listen to this. Why are people not able to see the depth of the warning of this prophecy? Okay? So now we're getting ready to go there and read it. Are y'all ready? Yes, sir. Come on. Let's go to it.
And I heard another voice from heaven, saying, Come out of her, my people, that ye be not partakers of her sin, and that ye receive not of her plagues.
I'm looking at the people. What you think, Brother Fred?
Well, I think first of all, they may not be his people.
Okay.
Well, that's the main thing.
Mm-hmm.
And the second thing is that they're not his people because they're partaking in the sins and iniquity of the world.
Don't be like them.
So you got to understand, this is, see, look, this is not going anywhere. All right? It's not going anywhere. You see that doorway? Only way you have faith to walk through that doorway if you trust in Yah. And if you are his people, then you know what's behind that door. Because he have revealed his secrets to his servants, the prophets. Right? So you know what's behind that. See, here's the three things to consider, all right? And that green thing up there said, what's behind the door? I don't know what happened. I don't know if the TV is out of whack. But we're going to roll with it. But if you're online, they getting a good, I think they're getting a good view of it. It's in and out. Where my gun at? Check it out. Three things to consider. Come out, my people. Be not a partaker in her sins. 3, receive not of her plague. You hear that?
Yes, sir.
You said you was going to listen today. But some of y'all, you're on your way towards sin. Some of y'all, you're on your way from. Hey, blindness. You say all you want, but not me. Well, keep saying it. Make a song out of it. But that don't mean that you're not on the way towards sin. These is 3 points that you must evaluate. You have to evaluate this with depth. You can't just say, okay, look, you know, because this is what we do. The reason why I put a doorway right there, because at least that makes you think deeper into what was wrote and what was spoken. Because more so, he says, and I heard another voice from where?
Heaven.
From heaven, right?
Yes, sir.
Saying, come out of her, my people. There's more depth in it than what you think. So we have to look at this. Let's go, D. All right, we're on the next slide. All right, we must consider. This is what it says on the top. Why must we consider this? This is why. Mostly because the final fate of being enjoined with her will cause one to partake in receiving of her plagues. Now, this is going to be very important because I'm going to show you, y'all don't change. Remember, he's the same yesterday, today, and what? Forever. See, the trip is, I'm going to show you what coming out is. It ain't just, matter of fact, let's just pause right here. Shanika, what is coming out? Don't buy nothing on Sabbath. Brother Pete? I need to go back to the doorway, though. What is out there? What is coming out? There it is. Come on, say it loud, Mother JC, so somebody on here can hear you.
Coming out of the system and the ways of the world.
Coming out of the system and the ways of the world. That's coming out.
Following the laws of Yah.
Following the laws. That's it. I mean, that's it. Ain't no other way. You're going to see just how much somebody have painted a picture for you. And this was the biggest loop that you got caught in. It just keep on. They just kept wound. To the point that now you're not really free to worship the Most High. Yeah. Not with all your might, your heart, and your soul. No, you ain't. And is that something he would like you to do? Yes, or is that something he requires?
He requires.
What's the difference between like and require?
Requires something that's already established.
Right. Like is like optional. You know what I mean? Well, you know, like you know your wife like what, chocolate cake, maybe. Right? So it's like, well, maybe I'll stop and get her a chocolate cake. But if Yah required you to get her, I ain't gonna say she required you. You understand it? That's cold, ain't it? If Yah required you to get her a chocolate cake, you better do what? You better be getting chocolate cakes every day, ain't you? See what I'm saying? Let's go ahead. All right. So the mystery. The mystery. Who is her? And why is she going to be plagued? That's what we're going to find out today, because it's deep. So you can give me all these little answers, you know, and we'll take them, because, I mean, we've been reading. We've been doing a little bit. Some of us been in the way a little bit. But let's dig into the book so we can really see what's what. All right, let's move on, Deacon. All right. A thought. A thought. Did you know that she sinned greatly against Yah and disregarded his natural law, his people, and even the very earth he created for the inhabitants? That's what she did. You hear me?
Yes, sir.
I believe it's Psalms 119, verse 26, 28. Dawid said, Yah, it is time for thee to get up and work, for they have made your law of none effect. You hear that? That means somebody have disregarded the ways of the Most High Yah. You're going to understand how much deeper it is. See, it's so deep. It's deeper than just going to church and they saying, well, Jesus nailed the law to the cross, or you don't have to keep the laws. Well, it's so much deeper than that. You understand? Yes, that just, what they saying in church just goes along with. See, the people who are the synagogue of Satan know that Yah's word is forever settled in heaven and that it is still in motion. So we just put something around you so that you don't know it's still in motion. Did you hear what I said?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yep. Come on, let's go. All right. We're going to analyze these things today. We're not about to read it right now. I'm showing you. I told you all to read this. We're going to analyze Yah's thoughts on those who will perish. All right? And we're going to read that in 2nd Ezra 20 through 63. We're going to look at examples of partaking in plagues. We got to look at that example. Because it's no different. The reason why we're going to look at this example, because this is what's set before you today in life and death. Yah is setting before you a word that is his heritage, that is his truth. Choose ye this day who you're going to serve. And he's going to show it to you. Yeah, Israel make the same mistakes. Always. We always go against Yah's word. Then we end up finding out something more in depth. See, obedience is more than just listening. Because Yah is vast and wide and infinite. Yah already have stuff planned 8 years down the road. But this habit you got right here is leading you right over there where the destruction gonna show up. But if you would have turned away from this habit, boom, guess what? Then 8 years down the road, you missed that. You miss that judgment, or you miss that sudden thing that was going to come. Because it's going to come on, it's just how it happened. See, I remember driving on the highway one morning when I was still coaching and teaching. And I remember this van in front of me. I'm coming down 50, getting ready to go on the loop to get on 470 East. All right. And as I looked up, it swerved the last time. It swerved 3 times total. Last time, it ended up going across the highway and hit this lady. This lady was coming up the highway, heading to work. A lot of traffic on the side. Bam! And they stopped. Saw the news later. It was a 52-year-old or 50-something-year-old woman died. I saw it. But I thought about it. Man, this dude just... Remember, when Yah gives the decisive decree, right, that one should die. 2nd Ezra 7, right?
Yes, sir.
So when did the decree made then, right?
Yes, sir.
Now, what that decree had to do with, that's what we don't know. We don't know what led. We don't know what that woman was doing. We don't know what happened. That maybe you wouldn't have ended up in that position. See, Yah already set things forth, but you have an opportunity to partake in your own salvation. If you don't get salvation, guess who that's on? It's on you. He ain't just start you out in life like you're not going to have salvation. So you're here. That's what you don't realize, what's getting taken from you. That's being taken from you. Your salvation, your right to serve Yah, your right to return to his heritage, your right to life, to live, to breathe, to get food, to drink clean water. Somebody has taken that from you. And Yah's people is in bondage, extreme. So I hope you are with me in these things as we bring it about. Then we're going to read the story of the dead. You hear me?
Yes, sir.
Notice what I said. We're going to read the story of what?
The dead.
The Wizard of Oz. Man, this thing, did it trip us up? Was you up there to take? You was up there to take. Wasn't it a trip? Yep. It was a trip, wasn't it, Brother Keith? Oh, it's finna blow minds. That's why I can't wait. I'm looking at everybody now. I'm looking at them 2 and 3 times. Because after this, If you walk out of here with your mind blank, you need somebody to hit you in the head with a bat, right? So you walk out there doing. Wake you up. Let's go, D. Move it over. We're going to read that. All right. We're going to revisit Revelation 18:4. All right? Let's revisit this now so that we can understand these important parts. So we're going to deal with the coming out of her, my people part. Did you notice that in there, Miss Yvonne? Did you see that in Revelation 18:4? He said, come out of her, my people. He didn't say come out. Did he say come out of her Christians?
No, sir.
Or come out of everybody who can? Y'all understanding this? Do y'all mean what he mean
Yes, sir.
when he say what he say?
That's right.
And he gonna do what he gonna what? He gonna do what he gonna do, ain't he? That might be too country for y'all, but I hope still you understood what I said. Right? So we're gonna deal with the coming out of her, my people. All right, so understand this warning, Israel. Remember, y'all's people are scattered to the four corners of the earth. Deuteronomy 28:64. All right? That's where that's at. All right? Read that on the screen, Brother Snow.
And Yahweh shall scatter thee among all people, from the one end of the earth even unto the other. And there thou shalt serve other gods, which neither thou nor thy fathers have known, even wood and stone.
So you see that? He was going to scatter you among the people, and automatically he's going to become a partaker in that false idol worship. You see that?
Yes, sir.
That was a curse. So, but even though Yahweh, he put me over here, and he knew we was going to work, guess what? It's still going to be, right? Still going to be damnation for worshiping false idols. All right? Psalms 83, 2 through 5. All right? You're going to have to open up to that. Open up to that, Dick. Now, this is what I want you to understand about this. The nations have come together against who? See, do you hear this? I'm trying to point it out to you. They have come together against Yah's people. All right? To cut them off from being a nation. All right? You there, Dick? Let's go. Let me hear.
Even now, your enemies are in tumult. Those who hate you have raised their heads. They lay crafty plans against your people. They consult together against those you protect. They say, come, let us wipe them out as a nation. Let the name of Israel be remembered.
Now you hear this? See, that's deep. They don't even want you to remember the name, Mother Melissa. They don't want you to remember nothing about being Israel. That's why it's this. So now for them to see us saying that we're Israel, this is like a stupid thing. They look at them. They're stupid. They're not the Jews. You understand? See, this is where everybody's lost at. But you don't understand. See, for somebody that's trying to come out and return to a way that gives life, not just doing something. I don't like doing stuff with black people. What happened at Freak Nigga? Right? Black Beach.
Yeah.
Mayday Parade in St. Louis. Don't even know what Mayday Parade is.
Man.
See, I can go on and on. So I don't do nothing. You had a cousin killed at Trucewood, right? Way back then, throw your hood up. Throw your, look, here they go shooting in the place. All because of song. I mean, people just go nuts on that song.
Make no sense.
You see what I'm saying? So, listen, it's got to be something else that's going to bring these people together. Because, see, that's what I'm sold on. I'm sold on the way because I grew up in there. So I seen you at your best, at your ignorance. I mean, just, you know what I'm talking about. Goon, right? I done seen you. Ain't no help for that stuff, bro, is it?
No.
What you gotta do is get on, put gangs on YouTube and pull up gangs in LA. You gonna see a whole bunch of gun. I mean, you know, ain't none of them got no sense. I've been there. I've seen it. See, it ain't about the people more so than it is what. See, Satan sitting back. Because you know all these people going with me. You know what I mean?
Hallelujah.
We all going to the lake. Alright? See, Satan know that. So he ain't worried about them, he worried about you. See, the world don't want you to know this, because if you start saying that you're Israel, then you're going to start looking in these books and searching. And maybe you're going to start trying to find something out. And then if you find something out, then you're going to be trying to run around here and act like you the people. And then all of a sudden you're going to be telling everybody else, well, guess what? It's already out here.
Yes, sir.
Hebrews and Negroes. Right? It's out. Let's go. All right. Another need to separate. Let's listen to this. Revelation 9:20. This is the KJV. Let me hear it, Brother Snow.
And the rest of the men which were not killed by
Now
the
stop.
plague.
Listen what he said. See, this is what we talking about partaking. See, you got to understand to come out my people. So Yah is allowing us to look in and see these reasons. I scattered you among the people where you're going to worship false gods. So that's one of the reasons why you're going to partake in the plagues. Now, guess what? I put you among these people, and they made sure that you didn't know the name Israel no more, so you're not going to know my way. You don't know the way that your fathers knew. Does it make sense?
Yes, sir.
Now, look what he's saying. And so then this is even in the end. And for the rest of the men that were not killed by these plagues, yet what, Brother Snow?
Yet repented not of the works of their hands, that they should not worship devils and idols of gold and silver and brass and stone and of wood, which neither can see, nor hear, nor walk.
Now you hear this? See, they ain't going to turn from that. That's them. See, this is another reason why you need to separate my people. Because look, even after the plagues came, they still didn't repent. You hear this? Even after. They would not turn from the works of their hands. These folks going to trust in what they do. We was looking at, I think she's looking at it with me one time. But I was looking at these men that, you know, and these folks over in Asia that they're going through with the cloning. And I was looking at this man, he was so proud of what he did. I have created life. I was like, you ain't create no life. And but guess what? This wicked spirit, the spirits of the wicked ones that's in the earth and they conjuring up and summoning in the dead, and they participate in necromancy and sleeping in these graveyards and all these rituals that people participate in. Then they getting these information on how to do stuff like this. How in the heck you know how to even check somebody's body out to know that they got genes in there, so that now you know what gene to destroy, so now they family line messed up. Or I can fix it. Or you choose what type of baby you want. Do you want to have hazel eyes? Do you want, are you serious? The work of their hands. Come out of her, my people. Come out of her, my people. Come out of her, my people. Do you hear Yah? Do you hear his voice?
Yes, sir.
Do you?
Hallelujah. Hallelujah.
Here, let me give you a light bulb moment. The world calls you to discontinue in who you are as a nation of people. Remember we was reading about one of the curses? When he said he was going to scatter you among the heathen, where you shall perish.
You shall perish, yeah.
We talked about that here. Meant that you were going to discontinue from your heritage.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all remember?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
and has caused you to receive this, look at this, strong spirit of delusion. See, that's what happens when you sit up in church. It's a strong spirit of delusion. Ain't no way you can have an hour and a half service where you just got music, you got the offering, then you got come up for, so you get salvation, come up at the end, and then we got about 25 minutes cut to the T of what are you talking about in 25 minutes? I'm teaching you right now. I'm feeding you with knowledge and understanding. I'm feeding you right now. I need you to eat. Ain't no way I can have no cut in, little boxed in little service like that. Because I know it's detrimental. Somebody got to speak to your ears in this day.
Yes, sir. Hallelujah.
Somebody got to talk to you. Look at this. So that you transgress the way of life. Ultimately, you can't hear the warning to come out because you have assimilated, all right, and become another people. Right? Let's go to the next screen. That's what you've done. So now that's why you look just like Bob. Right? Go work, cut your mustache off. Right? Look terrible. I look back at some of my pictures, man. I was like, good. Look at me. Oh, he's white. Then when you read over in 2 Samuel, well, how some of David's men had their beard cut, they was ashamed.
Yeah.
They took them back, had half their beard cut, they was ashamed. Like, I understand. All right? All right. What is that again?
Separated from the sin.
All right. Jeez, I don't know what happened to that slide. Did you do that, Brother Fred? Hallelujah. He said, don't be accused of the brethren. I ain't going to accuse you, brother. All right. Be not a partaker in her sins. This is what we're dealing with right now. So everybody understand the part of the coming out of her, my people.
Yes, sir.
Do we understand that part?
Yes, sir.
Because I'm breaking that whole Revelation 18:4 down to you so that when we get to the end, this is what's it's gonna smack. It's gonna be, look, you're gonna see it. It's gonna smack you right in the head. You're like, oh my goodness. Some may be sad, some may become courageous and know that we got something to do. I don't know, but my mind been made. I already know what I'm doing. You finna get all these clutches and chains on me.
Yes, sir. Hallelujah.
You understand?
Indeed.
All right. Let's look at Daniel 7:25. Let's go.
And he shall speak great words against the Most High, and shall wear out the saints of the Most High, and think to change times and laws.
Stop. You hear that? How is it right there, Mother Yvonne? How is it right there in Daniel? I said, how is it right there in Daniel where he's going to think to change times and laws? And we ain't talking about this? Right. You see what I'm saying? And we sitting up, but see, remember, my people is sitting in that. It's changed and you don't even care. You tell people clear as day. The Sabbath is the seventh day. In Hebrews chapter 4, it tells you that there still remains a Sabbath rest for the people, and I even say of God. She's of God. It's like, so maybe that'll help, you know what I mean? Because, I mean, that's what you used to do. And God! Right? See, that's why they want you. That might help you a little bit, like give you a joke or something. See, because people don't understand, but you sitting right there like, I remember my sister said, well, my Sabbath is on Sunday. Key word.
Your Sabbath.
Your Sabbath.
Your Sabbath.
Yours. And he told you you're going to worship God. Then he said,
Yes, sir.
gods of wood and stone, right?
Yep.
Gods that neither hear nor
See.
smell, right? And here it is. You worshiping the sun god. Right, ain't it? You don't even care. They put it up. They put it on Sunday morning. Look, you don't watch TV anymore. You go see the little sun god thing right down the screen. They don't even care. It's right there every Sunday. They don't go nowhere.
I'm trying to show them.
Every Sunday. I took pictures. I done sent out people. I see it. Right. I don't get mad. I just play. I get, yeah. I gave it to him. All right. Let's move forward. All right. Lawlessness. All right. Let's read 2 Thessalonians 2, 5 through 12. All right. Now, pay attention to this. Pay attention to what it's going to say. Listen to it. Because you got to understand this about Yah. Yah forewarned. What does forewarn mean? Right? He give you ample time to choose what it's going to be before the wrath comes. When it come down, boy, it's going to come down. Woo, it's going to come down.
Well, they gonna be waiting on that flower.
Oh, yeah. Come on, Brother Snow.
Remember ye not that when I was yet with you, I told you these things, and now ye know what withholdeth, that he might have been revealed in his time. For the mystery of iniquity does already work. Only he now will let. Only he will be taken out of the way. And then shall that wicked be revealed, whom the master shall consume with the spirit of his mouth, and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming. Even him, whose coming is after the working of Satan, with all power and the signs of lying wonders, and with all deceivableness of unrighteousness in them that perish, because they receive not the love of the truth, that they might be saved.
Now stop. You notice you didn't receive the love of the truth, that you might be saved. See, he told you that the mystery or the secrets of lawlessness already exist. Look at this. Do y'all see it up on the screen?
Yes, sir.
That should be a red light. It says the secrets of lawlessness already exist. But key word, secrets. See, wait till we get there. See, the secrets of lawlessness is hidden in plain sight. It's hidden in plain sight. And so he's done a number to keep you off the path long enough until the man of perdition shows up, whom the Messiah is going to destroy with the words of his mouth. And you're going to be destroyed too because you love not the truth.
True.
That was given to you because you're so used to acting in lawlessness, because they kept you in lawlessness. They kept you in lawlessness. They kept you in lawlessness. I'm going to keep saying it. I'm going to keep saying it. They kept you in lawlessness. It's so powerful. What y'all see how it's merged together? Let's go. Oh, let me see. Hold up. Note this one thing. Oh, you still got a couple of verses? Go ahead.
And for this cause, Yah shall send them strong delusion, that they shall believe a lie, that they all might be damned who believe not the truth, but have pleasure in unrighteousness.
You hear that? Yeah. Because of that cause, because of the secrets of lawlessness already exist, and you didn't love the truth, then he's going to send you a strong delusion. And people run around in that strong delusion in this current day. Run around in it. Oh, so many people deceived who have not the spirit of Yah. See, remember I'm talking to you. I'm going to tell you this, mother. You done seen more power. Y'all use me in so many ways since you've been coming. You know, I'm not going to say your whole life in other churches. I don't know. I'm just saying this short stint. You've seen a lot, right? You understand that?
Yes, sir.
See, if you ain't up y'all, then how you ain't going to be around me and not see that y'all move in the spirit realm. You ain't going to be around me. That's what I first told him when he met me. But I remember I was walking across the gym when he was way on the other side of the room. The Holy Spirit was moving. The Holy Spirit was going out before me. Was working. So I'm trying to tell you, see, people come, you forget that y'all is doing something. See, I don't operate in the flesh realm. I operate in the spirit realm. I love it. Well, I'm going to stay. I can stay in the flesh, do whatever you want. But Satan made me, all right, do it. Satan makes me do it. You hear me? A damn thing. You hear me, brother? Nothing. I ain't giving in to that. I'm enduring to the end.
Hallelujah.
You hear me, Brother Moore? Is that it, Brother Snow?
Yes, sir.
All right, note this one thing. The faith in Christ is designed. It's designed. It is designed to give you a spirit that will lead you, all right, to walk in obedience to Yah and refrain from sin. This is the goal of Torah. Let's go, Dick. The mother of harlot, or the mother of harlots. All right? The religious powers of today teach lawlessness. Don't they? Don't they?
Yes, sir.
Damn it, say it loud. Don't they teach lawlessness?
Yes, sir.
No, they do. So how the book telling you that the secrets of lawlessness already exist? Then here go the mother of harlot, or the mother of harlots, who is over the religious systems, joining hands with other religions. Y'all not gonna mix with what he know he is. He don't mix dark and light. He don't mix clean and unclean. Do he?
No.
If you gonna come to the way and you unclean, he make a way for you to be clean, don't he?
Yes, sir.
Hallelujah. Yes, he did.
So I don't know what other people looking at. You ain't gonna come before the Most High unclean. All right. Religious powers, go back. Religious powers today teach lawlessness in that the law is done away with. How then shall you not participate in her sins if you have not uncovered the deception to serve Yah in lawlessness? That makes sense?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
How not? Because it says, don't be a partaker in her sins. But you don't even know what sins are. Right? Because you said being bad. Right? Brother, look, Brother Ray, I went around just testing stuff out before. But hey, I'm trying to figure out, like, what is sin? Oh, shoot, man. That's when you, like, just act stupid. You don't do what you're supposed to do. Like that. What? But in the book it says sin is the transgression of the law. Clear. That's clear. That leads me right to what y'all want me to understand. So then he said don't partake in her sins. That means that she is transgressing the law. Don't it?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
That makes sense?
Yes, sir.
Or do it?
Makes
Somebody
sense.
help me. Maybe this is like rocket science or something.
Makes sense.
Makes lots of sense.
It makes sense.
It makes sense.
All right, then let's go to the next screen. All right. Receive not of her plagues. All right, let's get ready to roll. All right.
These will suffer destruction, separated from the presence of Yah and from the glory of his might.
Y'all hear that? These the plagues. These plagues that's going to be received. Y'all hear it?
Yes, sir.
That sound good and exciting? Like, who want that? Raise your hand. Quick, quick. You want that? Oh, I would say, somebody pray for Sister Sherry. Taking it back right now. Jesus. Help us. Yeah, I mean, Satan got loose.
Boy.
Come on. Revelation 14, 9 through 11. Come on.
And the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast and his image, receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of Yah, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation. He shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb.
Y'all hear this?
Yes, buddy.
That's the plague. See, we talking about y'all hear the plagues?
Yes, sir.
But one of the things that was said is that them that take the mark of the beast, you're not going to know because your churches is going to help you take it. Right? This is good. The Bible said listen to the government. Right?
Get out.
Roll up on me, dog, I promise. It's better to die. You understand? It is.
It really is.
It is. Come on.
And the smoke of their torment ascends up forever and ever. And they have no rest day or night, who worship the beast and his image.
Notice he said they have no rest. And the opposite of that, when you go into the kingdom, is you're going to have everlasting rest.
True.
That's what we say. See, the Sabbath is teaching you to prepare for the rest of Yahweh.
Hallelujah.
Every week you're reminding of the rest that's going to come when we're in the kingdom.
Hallelujah.
Every week. And you won't even observe it to even think on it. So then don't worry about it. You won't have no rest. Ever. You hear me? Come on, because you partaking in her sins, right? Let's go. Where we at? Revelation 18, 5 through 8.
For her sins are heaped high as the heaven, and Yah has
Stop.
remembered.
Wait a minute. Did you hear what he said? Her sins is what?
Eyes them.
That's how far it's heaped up. Boy, how you going to want to go into that? See, so listen to me. Everybody do this. Watch this. Everybody over here, look up here. I need all eyes up here. I want you, when I point, I want you to follow my hand. See that? See, I pointed to the wall, but guess what? See, I'm showing you how to respond. See, everybody that look good. Everybody responding. But that ain't how it really look in real life. When the real word of Yah get preached. And I'm going to show you that when we go back to Jeremiah. You ask. Go pray to Yahweh. And whatever he say, after you inquire, we would do. But watch their response. See, this is what people tell you. Tell them, look. Quit going to church on Sunday. That's sun God worship. No, it's all right. As long as I worship my God, you just do your God, I'm going to do my God.
Yeah, that's what they say.
That's what they say.
Right? I'm like, try this again.
Nothing like this.
Here's all the evidence right here. That they did this way back in Babylon. They worshiping the sun. They go in the Catholic Church. They got this same sun symbol right behind the cross. On Sunday morning, they got all them little sun god heads on the TV.
Brennan is.
Sun god worship. High cross buns. Sunrise service.
Yes.
Worshiping the sun. Right?
That's right.
You be telling people they go right after that. Then what they do? Go right back. I'm gonna just keep worshiping on Sunday. I know the Lord with me. Hey, then guess what? Now wash your hands. Go ahead, D.
And Yah has remembered her iniquities, rendered to her as she herself has been rendered.
Stop. He remembered her lawlessness, her iniquities. She's in iniquity, lawlessness, and she wants you to be in lawlessness. Right? Come on.
And he will repay her double for her deeds. Mix a double drop for her in the cup she mixed, as she glorified herself and lived luxuriously.
See, ain't that what she doing? Living good. It's a reason why she's doing it. Because all the people are in bondage and paying homage to her. All the people are turning over their resources to her so that she is able to live luxurious. Come on.
So give her like a measure of torment, So give her a like measure of torment and grief. Since in her heart she says, I rule as a queen. I am no widow, and I will never see grief. Therefore, her plagues will come in a single day. Pestilence and mourning and famine, and she will be burned with fire. For mighty is the Elohim who judges her.
Y'all hear this?
Yes, sir.
And you want to partake in that?
No, sir.
Yeah, you do.
No,
Because guess what? Men ought to have power over their what?
Flesh.
Own flesh. You don't. Because you let somebody else lead you when all you got to do is read. See, the word said when you teach or when you give understanding or when you get understanding, there should be line upon what?
Line.
Precept upon what?
Precept.
So stop. So then where's this little vision that we be having? Lord showed me that you eat pork. He showed you that. And he the same yesterday, today, and forever. Right? Word said, know them by their what?
Fruit.
From such, do what?
Turn away.
Turn away.
I know it's deep. Is that it, deep? Let's keep rolling. All right, here we go. We're in Ezra. All right, here's Yah's thoughts on who will perish. I didn't say this. You ready?
O Yahweh, you who inhabit eternity, whose eyes are exalted, and whose upper chambers are in the air, whose throne is beyond measure, and whose glory is beyond comprehension, before whom the host of angels stand trembling, and at whose command they are changed to wind and fire, whose word is sure, and whose utterances are certain, whose command is strong, and whose ordinance is terrible, whose look dries up the depths, and whose indignation makes the mountains melt away, and whose truth is established forever. Hear, O Yahweh.
Stop. His truth is established what?
Forever.
His truth is established what?
Forever.
His truth is established what?
Forever.
Thy righteousness is an everlasting righteousness, and thy law is what?
The truth.
You hear that?
Yes, sir.
He says it's established forever, but it's nailed to the cross.
No.
Right? See what I'm saying?
That's about they tell.
It's totally different.
Come on.
Hear, O Yahweh, the prayer of your servant, and give ear to the petition of your creature. Attend to my words, for as long as I live, I will speak, and as long as I have understanding, I will answer. But do not look on the sins of your people, but on those who serve you in truth. Do not take note of the endeavors of those who act wickedly, but take note of the endeavors of those who have kept your covenants amid afflictions. Do not think of those who have lived wickedly in your sight, but remember those who have willingly acknowledged that you are to be feared. Do not will the destruction of those who have the ways of cattle, but regard those who have gloriously taught your laws. Do not be angry with those who are deemed worse than wild animals, but love those who have always put their trust in your glory. For we and our ancestors have passed our lives in ways that bring death, but it is because of us, sinners, that you are called merciful. For if you have desired to have pity on us, who have no works of righteousness, then you will be called merciful. For the righteous, who have many works laid up with you, shall receive their reward and consequence of their own deeds. But what are mortals that you are angry with them? Or what is corruptible race? Is a corruptible race that you are so bitter against it? For in truth, there is no one among those who have been born who has not acted wickedly. Among those who have existed, there is no one who has not done wrong. For in this, O Yah, your righteousness and goodness will be declared when you are merciful to those who have no store of good works. He answered me and said, some things you have spoken rightly, and it will turn out according to your word. For indeed, I will not concern myself about the fashioning of those who have sinned, or about their death, their judgment, or their destruction. But I will rejoice over the creation of the righteous, over their pilgrimage also, and their salvation, and their receiving their reward. As I have spoken, therefore so it shall be. For just as the farmer sows many seeds in the ground and plants a multitude of seedlings, and yet not all that have been sown will come up in due season, and not all that were planted will take root, so also are those who have been sown in the world will not all be saved. I answered and said,
wait a minute. You heard what he said?
Yes, sir.
See, when you want to save everybody, this is the Most High talking to the prophet Esdras. He said, not all who are sown in the world shall be what?
Saved.
So you can come, you feel however you want to feel about it. He's the potter, and you what?
The clay.
You the clay. That's the bottom line. Go ahead, D.
and I answered and said, if I have found favor in your sight, let me speak. If the farmer's seed does not come up, because it has not received your rain in due season, or if it has been ruined by too much rain, it perishes. But people who have been formed by your hands and are called your own image because they are made like you, and for whose sake you have formed all things, have you also made them like the farmer's seed? Surely not, O Yahweh above. But spare your people and have mercy on your inheritance, for you have mercy on your own creation. He answered me and said, things that are present are for those who live now, and things that are future are for those who live hereafter. For you have come far short of being able to love my creation more than I love it. For you have often compared yourself to the unrighteous. Never do so. But even in this respect, you will be praiseworthy before the Most High, because you have humbled yourself as if becoming for you, and have not considered yourself to be among the righteous. You will receive the greatest glory, for many miseries will affect those who inhabit the world in the last times, because they have walked in great pride. But think of your own case and inquire concerning the glory of those who are like yourself. Because it is for you that paradise is open. The tree of life is planted. The age to come is prepared. Plenty is provided. A city is built. Rest is appointed. Goodness is established, and wisdom perfected beforehand. The root of evil is sealed up from you. Illness is banished from you, and death is hidden. Hell has fled, and corruption has been forgotten. Sorrows have passed away, and in the end, the treasure of immortality is made manifest. Therefore, do not ask any more questions about the great number of those who perish. For when they have had the opportunity to choose, they despised the Most High and were contemptuous of his law and abandoned his ways.
Stop. Y'all hear that?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
That's why I wanted to make sure you heard it. Because I showed you the bondage. And I'm going to continue to show you the bondage. So, notice he said, don't worry about them. Because when you had the chance to choose, what they do?
Despise the Most High.
They abandoned his ways. You went the opposite way. Because guess what? Somebody kept pounding in your head. The law is done away with. 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 Now it's so far down in your flesh that guess what? You can't recognize what's going on in the world from what you're doing, because guess what? It's just you think you're doing something different because you're doing one thing. You going to church on Sunday and then so you give yourself a pass. Oh my goodness. When this whole thing about walking, how you gonna be a light? When David said, thy law is a light unto my feet. How you going to be a light if you walking in the same manner of life as those who do not know the Heavenly Father? How? Is that it? Where, Deacon?
Moreover, they have trampled on his righteous one and said in their hearts that there is no Yah.
You hear that? They have trampled on his righteous ones. Man, let's watch. And said there is no Yah. See, he said they was going to be destroyed because they walk around in pride. So you're going to see this in a minute. Wait till we read this story. I'm showing you right now. This stuff has already been foretold. This is why they was taking these books out the Bible.
Oh, yeah.
I was reading in 2 Samuel, and again, it made mention that the rest of this story could be in the book of Joshua. Then in Joshua, chapter 7, it said, and the rest of the story that the day that the sun stood still, is it not written in the book of Joshua? Then you go read the content, it ain't in there, but then you go find Joshua, guess what? It's in there.
It's in there.
But then we just got through reading to you in Thessalonians where it said you're going to be under a strong delusion that you believe a lie because you refuse the truth. I had to stop because I didn't, it was going to come out. It's going to be terrible. First and third row. Right, so I had to stop. Right, hallelujah. Was that deep?
For just as the things that I have predicted await, so the thirst and torment that are prepared await for them. For the Most High did not intend that anyone should be destroyed, but those who were created have themselves defiled the name of him who made them, and have been ungrateful to him who prepared life for them now. Therefore my judgment is now drawing near. I am not shown to this people, to all people, but only to you, and a few like you.
You hear that? I am not shown to all people. Did y'all hear that?
Yes, sir.
Did you hear it?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
but to you and a few who are like you. You hear that? Y'all understand what you're talking about? The remnant?
Yes, sir.
That's what you're talking about.
Yep.
Only a remnant gonna see. That's why people don't understand. Y'all be trying to beat people down. It is. You do gotta keep the Sabbath. Man, leave them people alone. Y'all ain't showing yourself to them. I hear this clear as day. It ain't like this. I don't feel I'm in a religion. You know, I was telling Brother Matt, he's like, so you got security walking around outside? Yeah. Why? I mean, people be tripping like that? Did you read the book? All them that believe in Christ shall be persecuted.
Yep.
Ah, I forgot you was going to church. You just go in and out, ain't you?
Yeah.
We done seen it. We done seen some stuff, right? See what y'all forget. See the high. So I asked. I said, all these people going to church and believing in Christ, and are they getting persecuted? What? Lost your wallet? Is that persecuted? Right? Come on, man. Let's go. Let's go. Next screen. Went to sleep. All right. Examples of partaking in plagues. Here we go. Hallelujah. Listen to this. We're almost there. Oh, Brother Snow.
Now it came to pass in the 7th month. Now, then all the captains of the forces, and Johanan, the son of Kareah, and Jezaniah, the son of Hoshiah, and all the people from the least even unto the greatest came near, and said unto Jeremiah the prophet, Let, we beseech thee, our supplication be accepted before thee, and pray for us unto Yahweh Elohim, even for all this remnant. For we are left but a few of many, as thine eyes do behold us, that Yahweh thy Elohim may show us thy way, wherein we may walk, and the thing that we may do. Then Jeremiah the prophet said unto them, I have heard you. Behold, I will pray unto Yahweh your Elohim according to your words. And it shall come to pass that whatsoever thing Yahweh shall answer you, I will declare it unto you.
Now stop, Brother Snow. This is Jeremiah the prophet. Right? Did he go ask them or they asked him?
They asked him.
They asked him. Come on.
I will keep nothing back from you. Then they said to Jeremiah, Yahweh be a true and faithful witness between us, if we do not, even according to all the things for which Yahweh that Elohim shall send unto us, whether it be good or whether it be evil, we will obey the voice of Yahweh our Elohim.
Y'all hear that?
Yes, sir.
We're going to do what?
Obey.
the voice.
See, that's how y'all be lying. Yeah, I won't be in community. Y'all love y'all. I want to do this. I want to do that. That flesh is more powerful than you think. Watch this. Listen.
To whom we send thee, that it may be well with us, when we will obey the voice of Yahweh our Elohim. And now therefore hear the word of Yahweh, ye remnant of Judah.
Now stop. The word of Yah has come back. You hear it, Brother King?
I hear it.
The word of Yah has come back. Go ahead.
Thus saith Yahweh of hosts, the Elohim of Israel, if ye wholly set your faces to enter into Egypt, and go to sojourn there, then it shall come to pass that the sword which ye feared shall overtake you there in the land of Egypt.
Stop. I don't think y'all listening. Are y'all listening?
Yes, sir.
Oh, y'all.
Yes, sir.
See, because this was the same thing that y'all was just saying. I just showed you. He just told us of all the plagues. Don't take the mark of the beast. All these things like fire and brimstone. Did we just read all these things that's going to happen? Yep. It's the same example. I told you don't keep Sunday. Because you partaking in her plagues. Because you walking in her lawlessness, in her iniquities. You partaking in her sin.
Yep.
To not keep the Sabbath is a sin. Ain't no choice. He didn't make man for the Sabbath. He made the Sabbath for man. So dang on problem. Here it is. The word came back. He said, don't go where? To Egypt. Finish reading.
And the famine, whereof you were afraid, shall follow close after you there in Egypt, and there you shall die.
He said the famine where you was afraid, right? Come on. We're in 46. Now listen to this.
The daughter of Egypt shall be confounded.
Now look at this. This is Yah giving a proclamation against Egypt.
She shall be delivered into the hand of the people of the north. And Yah of hosts, the Elohim of Israel, says, behold, I will punish the multitude of No and Pharaoh and Egypt with their gods and their kings, even Pharaoh and all them that trust in him.
You hear this?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
See, he had already had a proclamation. So this is why I said something might already be against something down here. And because you didn't change and alter your ways, you headed on in there to Egypt when he had already proclaimed that against Egypt.
Yes, sir.
So I'm showing you, Yah has already given a proclamation against her, which is these nations, the world, Babylon. He already gave a proclamation. He already told you that the secrets of lawlessness already exist. But yet you still on this lawless path. I'm going to show you. You still on it. We still on it. Somebody say we. We are still on it. Ain't because you just look, well, I know I'm saved, sanctified, filled with the Holy Ghost. Get your butt up out of here. Listen, you still on that path. You still got more freeing to do. Well, I understand people don't understand what they say. When all you ain't saved yet. You ain't free yet.
That's right, brother.
Right?
Yes, sir.
Was that it?
Yes, sir.
Let's go to the next screen. No, here we go. Y'all ready?
Yes, sir.
Right, so what's going to happen? You got Deacon, you going to read. Then when you get done with yours, Snow going to read. It's just going to keep saying Snow, Deacon, Snow. So it's easy to understand. But what I need y'all to do, I need y'all to really listen. Really listen. I need y'all on the internet. I need you to really listen. Because this is why I've been preaching the whole thing about Revelation 18:4, that the warning was to his people. He warned. He told you to get out. He said, my people, but you didn't understand. You didn't know you was Israel. Because they made sure you didn't know the name Israel no more. Right?
Right.
So then when people try to come and tell you, well, how you know? How do you know? Well, guess what? Conversion is still to the heritage. So there ain't no way around it. Nowhere in the Bible it tells you to convert to Christianity. Find it.
No.
Find it right now. I bet you $10,000 right now. Find it.
Ain't gonna find it.
You ain't gonna find
I ain't
it.
gonna find it.
You converting to the ways of the Most High Yah, which they do despise. All right. Here it is. Let's go, Deacon.
Just as you can read between the gory lines in the newspaper on any given day in America, you can discover clues and truths slipped in by the powers that be. If you look hard enough as to what is actually going on, such notice can be found in somewhat lighter fare. The movies. As you well know, movies have become the national pastime of entertainment. Millions go to the movies. VHS tapes and DVDs fill in the rest of the gap. The storyline, topics, and time frames vary as to the manuscript and the vision of the directors. Such a movie was The Wizard of Oz, an allegory for the new state of affairs in America in the 1930s, following the stock market crash and the factual bankruptcy of the United States government.
Now pause. You hear that? Did y'all hear it?
Yeah.
It said it was all behind the factual. You hear it?
Yes, sir.
State of affairs of America and what?
The United States government.
You got it? Did you know he said bankruptcy?
Bankruptcy, yep.
Y'all better listen to this. See, because look, y'all come to show you how to get crossed. Look, there it is. See, some of y'all, you ain't going to see y'all trying to get you out because you're not tuned in. You tuned in to church. And Pastor T.D. Jakes. And Creflo Dollar and all this foolishness. Mike Murdoch. Come on, you know these folks got you. I don't know how many offers I sent to old, what's his name? With the what's his name? Peter Pope off. Boy, look, I need to meet him one day. Hey, I'm a pastor, bro. I ain't know nothing back then. Sit down. Talk to me about this holy water you was sending out. So I know some more people. That's why he laughed, because more people sent money through there, didn't y'all? I knew I wasn't the only one. Come on. Go ahead.
The Wizard of Oz is not just a movie for children, though perceived today it is. And it has become a national icon of its historical nature. We play it every year on television, just for children. But what is missed by most is the symbolism in the movie and almost every character and aspect of the set and so-called special effects and props back then. After reading this article and then seeing the movie again, it will never be the same to you or your children. The setting was Kansas, heartland of America, the geographical center of the USA. In comes the twister, the tornado, i.e., whirling confusion of the stock market crash that left everyone dizzy and economically dizzy. It signified the theft of America's gold, the coming U.S. bankruptcy, the Great Depression. The tornado whisked Dorothy and Toto up into a new, artificial, dreamlike dimension, somewhere above the solid ground of Kansas. When Dorothy awakes, she finds herself in the land of Oz. Dorothy comments to her little companion, Toto, I have a feeling we are not in Kansas anymore.
That's right. After the bankruptcy, Kansas was no longer just plain old Kansas. It was now KS, an artificial corporate venue of the bankrupt United States. Newly established federal territory, part of the federal zone, and Dorothy and Toto were in this state now. On their journey in this unfamiliar land, Dorothy meets up with three unusual characters, each having certainly a different problem or aspect as portrayed on the silver screen. But their true identity has been decoded as it follows. The first was a scarecrow, a man of a straw A-front, and he identified as his straw man persona for Dorothy. Some people without brains do an awful lot of talking. Of course, I'm not right about doing things, and in his classic song, If I Only Had a Brain, the scarecrow straw man succinctly argued, I'd unravel every riddle. For every individual in trouble or in pain. Today, in light of redemption, we would translate it as, once one discovers that a straw man exists, all political and legal mysteries, complexities, and confusions are resolved or understood, and once and for all, and once takes legal title control to a straw man. He becomes the authorized representative of the straw man to accept and discharge, settle all commercial affairs. As in Oz, the new commercial world, aka the Matrix. Because the straw man has no brains or no hands or fingers to grasp a pen or to write a check, so to speak, to pay fines, fees, tax, or debts. The second character was a tin man, or a TIN man, also identified as taxpayer identification number. The tin man was a hollow man of metal, a vessel, a vehicle, a newly created commercial code word for the straw man. Just like the scarecrow, the tin man had no brain and had no heart. Both were artificial persons. One of the definitions of tin in Webster's dictionary is counterfeit. The tin man also represents the mechanical and heartless aspect of commerce and commercial law. Just like they say in the mafia, nothing personal, it's just business. And in another profession, similar to the mafia, the business of lawyering, they have the attitude that it's nothing personal. Business is business. The heartless tin man also carried an axe, the traditional symbol for guys, i.e. modern commercial law in earlier dominant civilizations, including fascist states. In the words of the Tin Man, expressing relief after Dorothy had oiled his rusty points and parts, he said, "I've held that axe up for ages. The word ace is etymologically related to the word axe. And in the deck of cards, the only one above the king is the ace, i.e. God." One of the Axis powers of the World War II, Italy, was a fascist state. The symbol for fascism is a fascis, or fasces, a bundle of rods with an axe bound up in the middle of its blade projecting. The fasces may be found on the reverse of the American Mercury head Dion, and Roman deity Mercury was the god of commerce. It can also be found on the wall behind and on each side of the speaker's podium in the U.S. Senate. Each gilded fasces is approximately 6 feet in height. And at the base of the seal of the U.S. Senate are true cross fasces. The third character that Dorothy met was the Cowardly Lion, or king of beasts. And as the most feared of all animals in the jungle, was lacking courage. The lion is symbolic of the once fearless American people who have since lost their courage. Yes, there are a lot of hot talkers out there. Just listen to your local radio talk shows. American men love to talk, but none have the courage to do a damn thing. The American people are scared of the corporate federal system and local revenue collectors, i.e. cops, judges, and the so-called courtrooms, tribunals of justice, commerce. After your first few go-arounds with the just us system, believing there was justice in the courts, you probably lost some of your courage too. And you may have not known it, but the IRS has been dealing with only a straw man, a debtor, strictly under the laws of commerce, and they are just like the Tin Man, heartless.
After Dorothy and her 3 companions made their way to Oz, they had learned that they had to go see the wizard. To find the wizard, they had to just follow the yellow brick road. Gold is also known as yellow bricks and are melted into ingots. All one has to do is follow the trail of America's stolen gold, and you will find the thief who stole it. In the beginning of The Wizard of Oz, the wizard was represented by the traveling mystic, Professor Marvel, whom Dorothy encountered when she ran away with Toto. His macabre shingle touted that he was acclaimed by the crowned heads of Europe, past, present, and future, Boy, that Professor Marvel must have been a regular wizard to be acclaimed by the future crowned heads of Europe before they were even crowned. Before the bankers stole America, they had long since disempowered the Christian monarchies of Europe and looted their kingdoms. Maybe this Professor Marvel fellow knew something about the future that other folks didn't. With a human skull peering down from its painted perch above the door inside his wagon, the good professor lectured Dorothy of the priests of Isis and Osiris and the days of the pharaohs of Egypt. When Dorothy and her new friends emerged from the forest, they were elated to see the Emerald City before them. Only a short jaunt away, then came the Wicked Witch of the West, desperate for ruby slippers that Dorothy was wearing, as they held special powers. A significant point here is that in the original book, The Wonderful Wizard of Oz, published in 1900, 39 years earlier, the slippers were not red, but silver. In the first cut of the movie, the slippers were silver, but were changed to red to be more colorful. At the time the book was written, America still had all its gold and silver. The value of 1 ounce of gold was set at 15 ounces of silver, with silver being the more plentiful of the two metals and generally known as a poor man's gold. Just as the silver slippers carried Dorothy, America's stockpile of silver and gold backing the currency carried the country to a position of preeminence throughout the world at that time. But, as mentioned, when the movie came out in 1939, the slippers were not silver, but red. Between 1916 and 1933, most of America's gold was rounded up by the privately owned Federal Reserve banks and shipped off to the Fed owners in England and Germany. The reason for this was that the Federal Reserve notes could be redeemed in gold and use of the Federal Reserve notes carried an interest penalty that could only be paid in gold. The American people were defrauded into trading their gold for worthless paper with green ink on it. Our previous currency, United States notes, carried no such interest requirements, but such were the bargain that came with the Federal Reserve notes. The reason JFK was murdered was because he was reissuing United States notes, interest-free. Go to any coin store and see or buy a 1963 U.S., not Federal Reserve note, when the bankruptcy was declared in 1933. Americans were required or misdirected to turn in all gold coin, gold bullion, and gold certificates by May 1st, known as May Day, the birthday of communism in Bavaria in 1776, the birthday of the IRS, and celebrated worldwide as the International Workers' Holiday, a holy day to the wizard and his tribe. Talking to the people who were alive at that time, you may find out that the general sentiment towards such thievery bordered on a second revolution. Maybe it was just too much of a clue or too much salt in the wound for Dorothy to be skipping down the yellow brick road in a pair of silver slippers, so that, for whatever reason, a color less likely to annoy or provoke was selected, i.e. red.
No.
With regard to the choice of ruby or red-colored slippers, red's primary significance, at least on documents and the like, is that it is the color of blood, and in flesh and blood, and symbolizes a living, breathing man or woman, i.e., non-corporate, non-artificial. The color red could also have been chosen for the related tie to the international banking Federal Reserve founder, the Rothschilds, aka Red Shield family. It does signify private as opposed to public. Your new Social Security card has a red serial number on the reverse, signifying the private side bond/account attached to the public side of your straw man Social Security account. For postal employees, red stickered registered mail means personal accountability, private. All other mail carries limited liability, public. It is likely that the ruby slippers symbolize the American people with blood in their veins as opposed to be citizens of the United States. Straw men with counterfeit corporate blood of blue or black ink on a birth certificate, no matter what their color in the movie. The Wicked Witch of the West wanted those slippers at any cost and had to move fast before Dorothy and her crew could make it to the Emerald City. The witch's tactic was to cover the countryside with poppy flowers, or poppies, the source of heroin, opium, and morphine, symbolically drugging them, the American people, into unconsciousness. And then just waltz and snatch their slippers. In other words, the best way to subjugate the American people and boost the goods was to dull their senses by getting them hooked on drugs. No, LSD was created the same year, 1939, by Dr. Albert Hoffman. The poppies drugs worked on Dorothy, the lion, and Toto, our flesh and blood friends, but had no effect on the scarecrow or the Tin Man, the artificial entities. The two of them cried out for help in Glinda, the good witch of the north. One of the good witch of the north answered their prayers with a blanket of snow, aka cocaine, a stimulant nullifying the narcotic effect of the poppies and opium on Dorothy, the lion, and Toto. At this writing, aside from marijuana, the two most available drugs on the streets of America are heroin and cocaine in their various forms. As they scampered toward Emerald City, the city of green Federal Reserve notes, the new fiat money, or money by decree, we heard the Munchkins singing on the glory of the wizard's creation. You're out of the woods. You're out of the dark. You're out of the night. Step into the sun. Step into the light. Keep straight ahead for the most glorious place on the face of the earth, or the stars. The forging jingle abounds the illuminous Luciferian symbols and metaphors are darkness and light. The Wicked Witch of the West made her home in a round medieval watchtower, ancient symbol of the Knights Templar Freemasonry, who are given to practicing witchcraft and also credited as the originators of the modern banking, circa 1099 AD. The Wicked Witch of the West was also dressed in black, the color symbolizing the planet Saturn, sacred icon of the Knights Templar, and the color of choice of judges and priests for their robes. Who was the Wicked Witch of the West? Remember, in the first part of the film, her counterpart was Almira Gulch, who, according to Aunt Em, owned half of the country. Miss Gulch alleged that Dorothy's dog Toto had bitten her. She came to the farm with an order from the sheriff, demanding that they surrender Toto to her custody. Aunt Em was not immediately cooperative and answered Miss Gulch's allegations that Toto had bitten her with, "He's really gentle with gentle people, that is." Could gentle really mean Gentile? When Miss Gulch defied them to withhold Toto and go against the law, dear Aunt Em was relegated to the pushing of the party line.
to the pushing of the party line for Big Brother. She dutifully succumbed to the pressure and canceled Dorothy reluctantly. Does this sound like most American people? We can't go against the law, Dorothy. I'm afraid poor Toto will have to go. When Dorothy refused to surrender Toto, Miss Gulch lashed out. If you don't hand over that dog, I'll bring a damn suit that'll take your whole farm. Today, 70% of all attorneys in the world reside in the West, America, to be exact, and 95% of all lawsuits in the world are filed under U.S. jurisdiction. The Wicked Witch of the West and Miss Gold, dear friends, represent judges and attorneys, i.e., the American legal system, including the attorney-run U.S. Congress. They are the executioners and primary henchmen for transferring all wealth in America from the people over to the banks and the government. The Wicked Witch of the West wanted the silver slippers, the precious metals, and her counterpart, Miss Gulch, wanted to take Toto. What does the word Toto mean? In attorney language, i.e. Latin, everything. Dorothy and her 3 companions finally made their way to the Emerald City. They sought an audience before the wizard, were taken inside and brought before the wizard, a gigantic image speaking in a loud voice behind glass, similar to the smoke and mirrors. Dorothy and the gang fell for the wizard's illusion, power, and commands in the beginning, but it was little Toto who, by his instinct, pulled the curtain back to expose the fraud of the wizard, a frontman for the wizard, an agent for the fiction. This wizard, the people feared. The wizard, this gigantic image speaking in a loud voice behind glass, could very well symbolize, with the advent of television, the power of the government speaking lies before the people via TV. Because if the people saw it on TV, it must be true. And of course, the people will believe their government, won't they? Remember the drugs? But Dorothy and the others soon wised up and revealed the wizard for what he was, a confident man. Then, when asking the agent, administering tenant agencies, about the scarecrow or straw man, about getting a brain, he gave the straw man a piece of paper and a diploma from a university. The wizard also cited the land of E pluribus unum, which is Latin for one out of many, i.e., converting the many into one new world order, or novus ordo seclorum, a Latin phrase placed on the American $1 bill shortly after the bankruptcy. He also proudly confessed that he was born and bred in the heart of the western wilderness, an old Kansas man myself. He gave the TIN man a ticker, a clock, to sound like a harp, but it was not. And to the lion, he gave a medal to signify that the lion had courage. These all, of course, were the mere trinkets in the land of Oz, a fictional world, of course. The bankers did pretty well in Europe, but as the wizard pointed out, they made a killing in the western wilderness, i.e. America, with the theft of American gold, labor, and property. Quoting John D. Rockefeller, grateful and responsive rural folk who populated the country at that time. When Dorothy asked Glinda, the good witch of the North, representing honesty, good faith, and Christianity, for help in getting back to Kansas, Glinda replied, "You don't need to be helped. You've always had the power to go back to Kansas. Just click your heels together 3 times. 3 days, truth and lending. And say, there is no place like home. Translation, you've always had the right and power to reclaim your sovereignty. You just forgot or were never taught that you or the American people have such power. The Oregon Bill of Rights, says the people have all power. Since the people are the true sovereign power, then it is only necessary to wait from the drug-like effect the powers that be have over you and the American people as to that power and position, and then exercise it.
All right.
Boy.
But the last part, you finna break it down. Listen up, this is the last part.
The actual reclaiming of your sovereignty, the remedy in today's bankrupt commercial world, is a process including a UCC-I form to the Secretary of State and a charge bank invoice with bill of exchange to the Secretary of the Treasury, U.S., wherein you can take commercial control of your straw man with a TIN number, and charge up your UCC contract trust account so that you can discharge the debts of your debtor. Americans have intimate first-hand knowledge of the heartless mechanics of the laws of commerce, religiously applied by the example of the unregistered foreign agents of the IRS. The IRS, accounting firm and collection agency for the private Federal Reserve Bank, was constituted under the UCC at its inception in 1954 and has been operating strictly in that realm ever since. And as a side note, how was the Wicked Witch destroyed? By accident. A bucket of water, the true substance of all things, good and healthy. Simple water, H2O, destroyed the evil, just like the O in ozone destroys virus and bacteria, cancer. The oxygen in water can destroy the evil witch. You may have wondered what the meaning is behind the words in the title, The Wizard of Oz. Look them up in a dictionary, like almost everything else. It's right out there in the open for you to see, if you would just look closely enough. One definition of wizard is a very clever or skillful person. Oz is an abbreviation of onza, O-N-Z-A, the Italian word for ounce or ounces, the unit of measurement of gold, silver, and other precious metals. No matter how large the quantity of gold or silver being discussed, the amount is always expressed in ounces, e.g., rather than hundreds of tons of gold. It's so many millions of ounces of gold. As attested by the factual history of this country, the Wizard of Oz was the Wizard of Ounces. And who took the gold that backed the Americans' money? While the bankers and the lawyers working for the foreign principals and the private and Federal Reserve, constituting the 20 Class A stockholders, being mostly private bankers. They are orchestrated and greased by politicians then and still today. Only because it is not the mindset of politicians today to correct the matter and put full and absolute power over the control, creation, minting, and putting into the circulation of the United States money backed by gold, substance, and value. What everyone has to understand is that the things are today, the commercial system, is in place is better for everyone, just as long as everyone understands the program. Maybe the Wizard of Oz, maybe the Wizard of Oz back then was the introduction to the program as to the monetary condition and changes in America. It just appears that no one gave full disclosure to the American people, not only of the change, but how to operate in this new commercial world, where all the real value was removed and all that was put in place was commercial paper.
Yep.
Everything worked out for Dorothy, i.e. the American people. In the end, she made it home, meaning there is a remedy in law. It's there. It was just encoded in disguise and camouflage. Fortunately, the codes have been cracked, and there is a way home, just like in the movie. Like Dorothy said, there is no place like home, and there isn't. There's nothing like sovereignty for a sovereign people. We have commercial remedy in the redemption process. Will you continue to be conned by the coincidence, men, and believe the wizard's words coming out from that box of smoke and mirrors called the TV? Or will you wise up like Dorothy did and look behind the scenes to recognize the scheme? Will you rise above the occasion and obtain the knowledge to become a secured party creditor, private banker, and sovereign, to take your place among others who are above the government instead of being that debtor slave on the plantation, living your life in debt and servitude? It's your choice. Dorothy did that a long time ago to show the American people and maybe the children the way, how to do it, and that it can be done. Now go rent or buy the movie and see it again for the first time with your eyes wide open.
I already did it.
All right. I know it was a little long, but I wanted to point some things out to you. We're about to close out. First of all, as I look around, I see this thing more than just people who are coming to a church service or that's coming to hang out. You got to understand that this thing goes so deep when it comes down to what it means to be a free people. See, as I found the Straightway Ministries, I found Pastor Dow, it was, I looked at the manner of life he lived. I asked him, had you always been a country dude living out here? No. He know nothing about cows and nothing. But when you have your eyes open, you got to understand that these people are controlling the very food that you put in your body.
Yeah.
Now you putting out that all the deers are sick and got some type of zombie disease. See, it's like I said, they just put anything they put out, you just run behind. Oh! How many times did you spend money over the snow? Every snow was danger, and you went and spent money every time. Didn't you? Yeah, you did. That's what I'm saying. When you could really be one people, be prepared, and have what you need, you never got to go according to them. But you don't think like that. Remember, Yah said he wants you to serve him, worship him with all your might,
Yes.
all your heart, and all your soul. Well, according to the system, you don't have that, do you?
True.
Are you understanding that?
Yes, sir.
Let me point out a few things to you real quick. Jeremiah 1:5. All right, I want to point these out to you so we can get done. See, Yah had preordained you before the foundation of the world to be carriers of the truth and the true heritage. He had already ordained you for that. I'm going to prove it to you and show it to you. We got just a few screens left. This is the end. The bulk of it, I fed to you about what Revelation 18:4 was. Mm-hmm. I showed you the plagues. I showed you that you don't know that you're the people. Right?
Yes, sir.
And I showed you that you don't even know you partaking in the sin. This is the last part I'm going to deal with. See, Partaking in the sin is everything that I'm showing you right now to end this video off with. See, when they got you in a system where you're not even aware that it's going on, you just go along with it. That's why he said, my people perish for a lack of knowledge. Right?
Yes, sir.
It shows, look like you lacking a whole bunch of knowledge, ain't you?
Mm-hmm.
Let's go.
Before I formed you, in the womb I knew you. And before you were born, I consecrated you. I appointed you a prophet to the nations.
Y'all hear this?
Hallelujah.
This is what he was telling Jeremiah. But that's what he intended for Israel from the beginning, right?
Yes.
He was going to set you high above all nations that is upon the face of the earth. Didn't he say that?
Yes.
Let's go to the next screen. All right. The nations rule over our right to life. We're going to look at these. All right. I want y'all to listen to this real good. I believe this is it. I want you to listen to it. Listen to what I said. The nations rule over what, Brother Fred?
Your right to life.
Your right to life. That's why it says that the Torah is life. See, the Torah is more than just keeping the law. We understand its governance. Right?
Yes, sir.
See, this commerce thing is contract law. So all you doing is just constantly contracting. Well, y'all keep signing your name. But with the Most High Yah, it's by moral right. I'm not going to go to your house and steal out of your yard. Right?
That's right.
And if I'm caught, then guess what? It's stuff to do. Right? Okay. Let's go.
All this I have spoken before you, O Yahweh, because you have said that it was for us that you had created this world. As for the other nations that have descended from Adam, you have said they are nothing. They are like spittle. And you have compared their abundance to a drop from a bucket.
Y'all hear what he said?
Yes.
He said that this world was created for who?
Israel.
Right? Did y'all hear it?
Yes.
Am I making it up?
No.
He reading out the book. But he said, as for the other nations that have ascended from Adam, they are counted as what?
Spittle.
That's why the instruction was to go out to all the world and preach the gospel to every creature. So you can be brought into this fold. That you can either choose or deny, because your portion and what you was given over to was to the flesh. That makes sense?
Yes.
Come on.
And now, O Yahweh, these nations, which are reputed to be as nothing, domineer over us.
Now, look what he said. Now, these nations that were reputed as nothing now do domineer over us. You hear what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
What you just get through hearing in the Wizard of Oz?
Yep.
Don't they domineer over you?
Yes.
Don't you hear?
Mm-hmm.
Come on.
And devour us. But we are people whom you have called your firstborn, only begotten, zealous of you, and most dear, have been given into their hands. If the world has been indeed created for us, why do we not possess our world for inheritance? How long?
You hear that? Why do we not possess our world? How long will this be so? He asking a legitimate question. All right? Now, Revelation 12:9.
The great dragon was thrown down, that old serpent, who was called the devil and Satan, the deceiver of the whole world. He was thrown down to the earth.
Now stop, Deacon. It said Satan is the who of the world?
The deceiver.
Of what?
The whole world.
Half the world.
The whole world.
Some of the world.
Whole world.
Part of it.
The whole
The
world.
left side.
The whole world.
The whole world. Do you hear that? The whole world's deceived. I mean, the whole world turned over to the strong delusion. Go ahead, Dickie.
He was thrown down to the earth, and his angels were thrown down with him.
That's it. All right. Now, listen to this. So if somebody else owns you, you're like the straw man and the tin man. Then listen to Mark 12:27.
He is not the God of the dead, but the God of the living. Ye therefore do greatly err.
Wow.
You hear that?
Yes.
You err. Because he ain't the God of the dead. He's the God of the living. You understand that?
Yes, sir.
Until you live fully for the Most High Yah, you still dead. You are made alive in Christ, remember?
Right.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes, sir.
And that's why he gave the Holy Spirit. So now you can live righteous, holy, right? And just in this present world. Right?
Yes, sir.
But you ain't doing it. Because somebody else showing you how to live. Somebody else over how you live.
True.
Right. Now, it's just like in Ezekiel 37, verse 3 through 5. Look at this. The day has come where the word makes alive once again. The word. This is why we're showing you all of this. I'm preaching the word to you right now to show you that you are dead. That you're not alive. That you're not fully in Yah yet until you can start to think on how to get free from the clutch of these people. Christ came to set the captives free. Look how
Hallelujah.
dead we are. We just like, we got freedom.
Hallelujah.
Right. Hallelujah. Maybe I'll just go to church tomorrow, Sunday morning.
Okay.
And watch Sunday's best. God, dog, boy. Come on.
He said to me, mortal, can these bones live? I answered, oh Yahweh, you know. Then he said to me, prophesy to these bones and say to them, O dry bones, hear the word of Yah. Thus saith Yahweh Elohim, these bones I will cause my breath to enter you, and you shall live.
Y'all hear that?
Yes,
What did
Hallelujah.
he go do? Did he go touch and lay hands on everybody and
No.
pour anointing oil? And
No, sir.
what he did?
He just spoke.
See that? See, that's what's happening in this day. Yah is allowing this knowledge to increase, and he said he's going to give you pastors according to his heart. That's going to feed you with knowledge and understanding. See, we're getting knowledge and understanding right now in this day so you can know where you at, because guess what? When the holy people get set free and we all get in one place and we get two and three on earth
Yes, sir.
agreeing, right?
Yes, sir.
Woo!
Hallelujah.
Right?
Yes, sir.
This is your chance. You got to hear Yah today as he direct us back to the narrow path. See, this ain't popular.
True.
Y'all got it? This ain't popular. We got to go ahead and move forward. You understand?
Yes, sir.
We got to allow ourselves to feed on the word of truth and start to put these things into action. All right? Hey, I bless all of y'all out there online that's watching us either on Facebook or watching us on YouTube, or who's going to come across this video at a later time. Make sure that you have opportunity to sit down and process the information, because when Yah said for his people to come out of her and to not be a partaker in her sins and do not partake, so that you don't have an opportunity to be a part of those plagues that's going to come. And we read those plagues. And so knowing that these things are going to come, it's your job to really get an understanding of what it means to get out of this system, to get out from among those who are causing you to worship incorrectly, those who are causing you to take on a false persona. You're worshiping the wrong Heavenly Father. Yours don't give like ours give. He don't bring life like ours do. He don't heal like ours do. I'm asking you to change your mindset, change everything that you may be doing so that you may have a right to the tree of life by keeping the commandments. Bless you.
Hallelujah.
Shabbat shalom. Hallelujah.